After the age of 60, a small daily habit may quietly increase the risk of experiencing a stroke during sleep. There are no symptoms, no warning signs, and no physical discomfort to signal danger. One moment the body is at rest, and the next it may be unable to lift an arm, speak clearly, or maintain balance. The cause is not necessarily linked to commonly known risk factors such as smoking, poor diet, or lack of exercise. Instead, the risk can come from something commonly assumed to support health and longevity: vitamin supplements. Millions of older adults take vitamins each day with the intention of maintaining strong bones, boosting energy levels, or preserving memory and cognitive sharpness. While certain vitamins do contribute to these goals when used appropriately, others can present hidden risks when consumed in high doses or at unsuitable times. In particular, 5 widely used vitamins have been associated with increased chances of stroke, brain hemorrhage, or sudden fluctuations in blood pressure, particularly during early morning hours when the brain is most sensitive. Among these, vitamin D stands out as a surprising and significant contributor. Often promoted as essential for bone strength, emotional stability, and immune resilience, vitamin D is generally beneficial when used in moderation. However, excessive intake, especially during the nighttime, may lead to silent and serious consequences. There are cases where individuals follow a strict and consistent supplement routine, including high-dose vitamin D capsules purchased over the counter. These individuals may not realize that repeated intake of such doses without proper monitoring can gradually lead to dangerous outcomes. Laboratory results in these cases often reveal elevated calcium levels in the bloodstream, increased arterial stiffness, and unstable blood pressure. These physiological changes can contribute directly to an increased risk of stroke. The mechanism involves the way the body processes vitamin D. High doses enhance calcium absorption in the digestive tract, but when the calcium load exceeds what the body requires or can store in the bones, the excess circulates in the blood. The body then directs this surplus calcium into the arterial walls, making them less flexible and narrower over time. Reduced arterial flexibility increases the chance of clot formation and impairs the ability of the vascular system to regulate blood flow, particularly to the brain. In the elderly, where arteries naturally lose elasticity, this process can be especially harmful. When combined with factors such as dehydration and poor sleep, a late-night calcium surge becomes a potent threat. Importantly, many over-the-counter vitamin D supplements available in the United States contain levels well above the recommended daily amount for older adults. Common products may offer 5,000 IU or even 1,000 IU per capsule. Despite the widespread belief that higher doses offer better protection, clinical studies indicate that doses as low as 2,000 IU per day can be excessive for individuals without a diagnosed deficiency. This is particularly true for those who are also consuming calcium supplements or heart medications, where interactions can amplify the risk. Monitoring blood vitamin D levels is critical for anyone taking regular supplements. In addition, timing matters. Vitamin D should be taken in the morning rather than at night. Morning intake allows the body to process and regulate the vitamin more effectively during active hours. Taking it before bed may contribute to undesirable calcium accumulation during the period when metabolism slows down. These risks are not limited to vitamin D. Several other vitamins also carry potential dangers when misused. Vitamin E, for example, has blood-thinning properties. In high doses, especially when combined with other anticoagulant medications or supplements, it can increase the likelihood of internal bleeding, including hemorrhages in the brain. Although vitamin E is often associated with skin health and cellular protection, its anticoagulant effects must be taken seriously, particularly in the aging population. Vitamin B6, another common supplement, is frequently taken for nerve health and energy metabolism. However, excessive intake over time can lead to sensory nerve damage. Symptoms may include tingling, numbness, or burning sensations in the extremities. These symptoms can mimic those of neurological disorders, making it difficult to diagnose the root cause. Prolonged overuse of vitamin B6 may also impair balance and coordination, compounding fall risk in older individuals. Vitamin A, while important for vision and immune support, can raise blood pressure and strain the liver when consumed in large amounts. Fat-soluble vitamins like A accumulate in the body's tissues over time. Chronic overconsumption can lead to toxicity, which may manifest as dizziness, blurred vision, nausea, or bone thinning. Moreover, high vitamin A levels can interfere with the effectiveness of other medications, especially those related to blood pressure regulation. Niacin, commonly marketed as a heart-healthy vitamin that can support cholesterol balance, may also have unintended effects. High doses of niacin can cause flushing liver stress and irregular heartbeat. In some individuals, niacin intake may trigger episodes of very low blood pressure followed by rebounds of hypertension. These swings place stress on the cardiovascular system and can create instability in cerebral blood flow, increasing stroke risk. It is important to recognize that the use of vitamins should be based on individual medical assessments rather than generalized assumptions. Routine blood testing, consultation with healthcare professionals, and careful attention to dosage and timing are all necessary steps to ensure safety. Vitamins are not inherently dangerous, but misuse, especially in the form of high doses taken daily without oversight, may transform them from health-supporting substances into silent threats. In older adults, the combination of age-related physiological changes and supplement overuse can be particularly hazardous. The body becomes less efficient at metabolizing certain compounds and the margin for error shrinks. What might have been tolerated at younger ages can become dangerous over time. This makes it essential to reevaluate supplement routines regularly. In conclusion, while vitamins play a vital role in supporting health, they must be treated with the same caution as medications. Popularity and availability do not equal safety. Each vitamin carries specific effects, both beneficial and potentially harmful, depending on how and when it is used. Older adults should approach supplementation with informed awareness, guided by evidence and medical advice. When used properly, vitamins can enhance quality of life, but when taken without knowledge or care, they may quietly jeopardize the very health they were intended to protect. Now consider this: how much vitamin D is actually in your supplement? Many do not know. While one capsule may seem harmless, the dosage can vary wildly, and if this revelation sparked any concern, it is worth examining another common supplement believed to support heart health: vitamin E. While often praised for its potential cardiovascular benefits, vitamin E can be far more dangerous than most realize, especially for older adults. Vitamin E is often referred to as the heart helper. It has been added to daily routines by many individuals over the age of 60 in hopes of supporting heart function, improving blood flow, enhancing memory, or even benefiting skin health. The perceived advantages are attractive, but the risks are rarely acknowledged on product labels. In excessive amounts, especially when taken alongside common heart medications, vitamin E can increase the risk of internal bleeding, including hemorrhagic strokes. Even when a person follows medical advice closely, this risk may still develop without any noticeable warning. One case highlights this vividly. Evelyn Brooks, age 81, was a retired librarian from Ohio. Known for her sharp mind and quick wit, she spent her days reading and staying informed. She had a heart valve condition and was prescribed warfarin, a widely used blood thinner. Her doctors were thorough, monitoring her condition with regular blood work. Everything appeared to be under control. Her blood pressure was stable and there were no indications of trouble. Then one day she purchased a bottle of natural vitamin E from an advertisement in a magazine. Each capsule contained 800 IU. Believing it would support her memory and circulation, she added it to her daily routine. Within 3 weeks, Evelyn experienced a sudden severe headache followed by confusion and vomiting. She was rushed to the emergency room. A brain scan revealed a hemorrhagic stroke, bleeding within the brain. The cause was not trauma or elevated blood pressure, but the interaction between warfarin and the high-dose vitamin E. Together, they thinned her blood to the point where one delicate vessel in her brain ruptured. This incident illustrates a critical point. At high doses, vitamin E acts as a natural anticoagulant. It slows the body's ability to form clots. For individuals already taking medications like aspirin, Plavix, or warfarin, The added effect of vitamin E can tip the balance dangerously. A small internal bleed, especially in the brain, can result in the loss of speech memory function or mobility. Most people are unaware of how small the recommended intake of vitamin E truly is. For older adults, the daily recommendation is only about 15 milligrams, roughly 22 IU. However, many supplements on the market far exceed this amount. It is not uncommon to find capsules containing 200, 400, or even 1,000 IU. These products are sold freely with no warnings or required medical consultation. Many people take them daily for years unaware of the risks. Evelyn survived her stroke, but her life was never the same. She now relies on a cane and struggles with short-term memory loss. Through tears, she once said that she only wanted to help herself. She never imagined she was putting herself in danger, and unfortunately, she is not alone. There are many others who assume that if a product is labeled as a vitamin, it must be safe, but the reality is not so simple. Some vitamins can become hazardous, particularly when used in combination with heart or blood pressure medications. Before adding any new supplement, especially in later life, it is essential to consult a healthcare professional. Vitamins can support health, but they can also cause harm when used improperly or without oversight. If the idea of internal bleeding is already concerning, the next supplement introduces a different but equally troubling risk: nerve damage. There is a vitamin frequently taken for nerve support and energy that may gradually harm the very nerves it claims to protect. This brings attention to vitamin B6, often labeled as a nerve support or brain enhancer. Vitamin B6 is widely available in pharmacies and health stores. It is marketed with claims that it helps with energy focus and memory. Many believe it is especially beneficial for aging nerves. However, there is a critical warning that many older adults never hear. Excessive intake of vitamin B6 can actually damage the nervous system, and in some cases that damage may be irreversible. Vitamin B6 toxicity can quietly harm the nervous system over time, often mistaken for the natural signs of aging. But it is not the only vitamin with hidden risks. Harold Jenkins, age 76, was a retired truck driver from Kansas. He came in for a consultation complaining of numbness in his feet, a tingling sensation in his hands, and poor balance. Initially, he believed it was just part of getting older. Then he started to fall. Once, then again. By the third time, he had fallen in the bathroom and struck his head on the tile floor. Upon reviewing his list of supplements, the issue became clear. He had been taking a nerve support formula for over a year. The label marketed benefits for brain health and circulation, but each tablet contained 100 milligrams of vitamin B6, and he was taking 2 tablets per day. That added up to 200 milligrams daily, more than 10 times the recommended upper limit for seniors. The concerning part is that vitamin B6 does not exit the body quickly. Unlike water-soluble vitamins that are flushed out through urine, B6 builds up in the body over time. In older adults, this accumulation can damage the myelin sheath, the protective covering around the nerves, similar to stripping insulation off electrical wiring. When this happens, signals between the brain and body become disrupted. Symptoms include persistent tingling, numbness, weakness in the muscles, hand tremors, even confusion and memory loss. Because the onset is gradual, many dismiss these signs as arthritis, natural aging, or early dementia. But in reality, it may be vitamin B6 toxicity, a slow, harmful process caused by a pill meant to support health. Left unchecked, the nerve damage can become permanent. In Harold's case, the supplement was discontinued in time. The progression of the symptoms halted, but the damage already done could not be fully reversed. He now walks with the aid of a cane. He no longer drives. Reflecting on the experience, he shared a difficult truth: he only wanted to protect his brain. He never imagined he might be harming it instead. Vitamin B6 is essential, but only in very small amounts. Older adults generally need between 2 to 10 milligrams per day, which includes what is already present in food. However, many over-the-counter brain support products contain amounts far above that, 50, 100, even 200 milligrams per capsule. This is not only unnecessary, it is potentially dangerous. For anyone taking supplements labeled for a nerve, brain, or energy support, reading the label is critical. Dosage matters. Knowing how much B6 is being consumed could make all the difference. Now, consider the assumption that some vitamins must be harmless. For example, vitamin A is often associated with vision, and it seems reasonable to assume that it is safe, but the truth is more complex. Vitamin A is indeed important for eye health, and many take it for skin immune function or general aging support. Yet few people are told what happens when it is taken in excess, especially by individuals over 60. Unlike certain vitamins that the body can eliminate easily, vitamin A is fat-soluble. It does not flush out through urine like vitamin C or vitamin B. Instead, it accumulates, the liver stores it, tissues store it, even the brain stores it. Over time, this can lead to toxic levels. One case that demonstrates this risk involves Dorothy Simmons, a 79-year-old retired piano teacher from Oregon. She was passionate about music and continued to teach from her home. Independent and vibrant, she took pride in staying mentally and physically active. Then, without much warning, she began suffering from the headaches. Soon after came blurred vision, dizziness followed, and eventually her speech became slurred. Her family feared she had suffered a stroke, but the brain scans told a different story. There was no clot, no bleeding. Instead, she had elevated intracranial pressure, a buildup of pressure inside the skull. Her spinal fluid was not draining properly. Tiny veins in the brain were under stress. The diagnosis was vitamin A toxicity. Dorothy had been taking a high-dose supplement marketed for eye and skin health. Each dose contained nearly 10,000 IU of vitamin A, and she had been taking it every day for 5 years without knowing the risks. This buildup resulted in serious internal pressure on the brain, a condition that mimics stroke symptoms. Vision problems, cognitive disturbances, and loss of coordination are all possible consequences. This is the risk with fat-soluble vitamins. The body does not have a simple way to get rid of the excess. Over time, the buildup causes damage silently, especially when the intake is consistent and the symptoms subtle at first. Understanding the difference between fat-soluble and water-soluble vitamins is essential. Not all supplements are harmless, and not all health routines are without risk. Careful attention to dosage frequency and the body's own needs becomes more important with age. What begins as an effort to preserve health may, if not properly managed, lead to outcomes far more serious. As the body ages, especially after 60, its ability to process and eliminate excess substances slows down. This makes the accumulation of fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A more dangerous than many realize. With age, liver function declines gradually, and this makes it harder for the body to clear out excess vitamin A. As a result, that buildup can happen much faster than in younger individuals. When too much vitamin A collects in the system, it can lead to a condition known as pseudotumor cerebri, also called idiopathic intracranial hypertension, a disorder that mimics the symptoms of a brain tumor without an actual mass. The signs are hard to ignore once they set in. Headaches that linger and worsen, blurred or even double vision, dizziness, persistent nausea, and in some cases long-term vision loss or cognitive issues. But the cause can be difficult to trace, especially because vitamin A toxicity develops slowly and silently over time. A common mistake among older adults is unknowingly consuming excess vitamin A through multiple supplements. Many multivitamins already contain the full daily recommended amount. Then, without realizing, individuals may add extra doses through skin health capsules, eye support formulas, or anti-aging blends. The safe upper limit for seniors is generally between 2,500 to 3,000 IU per day, and even that should only be used under medical guidance if there's a clear deficiency. However, many products sold online contain far higher doses, 5,000, 1,000 IU, or even more per capsule. When taken daily for months or even years, it becomes easy to understand how toxic levels build up. The body stores this surplus in the liver and tissues, and over time it reaches thresholds that affect the brain and nervous system. This is what happened to Ms. Dot. Her recovery is gradual. She now attends regular appointments for eye pressure testing, vision checks, and balance therapy. Her independence has been affected. She once believed that her daily supplement regimen was doing her body good, but later she confessed something many others could relate to. She never imagined that what she was taking for wellness could quietly damage her brain. This story serves not as a warning meant to frighten, but as a reminder to stay informed. Facts protect. Accurate knowledge allows decisions that support health and independence rather than unknowingly placing them at risk. And just when it seems that eyesight vitamins might be the greatest concern, another commonly recommended vitamin presents a different, equally hidden threat: niacin, also known as vitamin B3. Niacin is often promoted as a heart-friendly vitamin. It's included in many supplements designed to improve cholesterol levels and boost circulation. Some physicians even prescribe it in controlled settings. It can also be found in energy drinks, multivitamins, and fortified breakfast cereals. Yet what is rarely discussed, particularly among older adults, is that high doses of niacin can cause severe swings in blood pressure and may trigger a stroke. Consider the case of Frank Miller, age 82, a retired postal worker from Florida. He arrived at the clinic with a confusing collection of symptoms. He experienced frequent hot flashes in his face, a pounding sensation in his chest, and lightheadedness that appeared every morning without fail. His wife thought he was suffering from anxiety. His son blamed his blood pressure medication. But the true source was something no one had considered. Frank had been taking an over-the-counter heart supplement. The label on the front advertised support for cholesterol in circulation. The back listed 1,000 milligrams of niacin per serving. He was taking it twice a day. That amounted to 2,000 milligrams daily, more than 60 times what most seniors actually require. Niacin in high doses causes blood vessels to expand quickly, which explains the facial flushing and warm sensations. However, shortly afterward, those same vessels constrict again. This sudden rebound, a kind of internal whiplash, places immense pressure on the cardiovascular system. Blood pressure spikes, the heart becomes stressed, and blood flow to the brain becomes inconsistent. Repeated day after day, this back-and-forth effect is like tapping a glass window with increasing force. Eventually, a crack appears. Frank experienced what is known as a transient ischemic attack, or TIA, often called a mini-stroke. His speech slurred for 2 minutes before returning to normal. He initially thought it was nothing serious, but medical scans told a different story. His daily supplement intended to support heart health had been quietly straining his brain. This situation is more common than many realize. Seniors frequently purchase high-dose niacin products without knowing the risks. Some opt for flush-free or extended-release versions, assuming these forms are safer. However, these formulations can still cause high blood pressure, provoke heart rhythm disorders such as atrial fibrillation, and even interfere with blood sugar levels. What is essential to understand is that for older adults, any niacin intake above 50 milligrams per day should only occur under professional supervision. Those with a history of hypertension, cardiac arrhythmia, or who are on medication need to review supplement labels carefully. Frank has since stopped taking niacin. Fortunately, there was no permanent damage and his recovery is progressing. But his reflection on the experience is worth remembering. He believed he was doing everything right. He never suspected that his daily supplement was quietly putting his brain at risk. After learning how certain vitamins, often taken with the best intentions, can silently harm the brain, the next logical question is what to do instead. The answer may be simpler and more natural than expected. Having explored 5 common vitamins with the potential to impact brain health negatively, the question arises: what should be used instead? Or more importantly, what should be eaten? Turning the focus to real food, whole and nourishing opens a path to brain protection without the silent risks. The body was never built to depend on pills. It was designed to thrive on foods it can recognize and use efficiently. Whole foods contain nutrients in balanced proportions, offering what the brain needs in a form it understands. Margaret Wilson, A 73-year-old retired school principal from Arizona serves as a powerful example. During her first visit, she revealed an entire drawer filled with supplements. There was vitamin D for bones, vitamin E for heart health, a B complex for energy, niacin for cholesterol, a daily multivitamin, and additional capsules for brain function. Her intention was clear. She wanted to support her body in every possible way. But despite her efforts, she was experiencing persistent morning dizziness, unstable balance, and increasing blood pressure. Something wasn't right, so a decision was made to simplify. One by one, the supplements were removed. In their place, whole foods were introduced, simple, natural, and timed to support her body's rhythms. Her new breakfast was straightforward. A boiled egg provided clean, digestible protein. Half an avocado delivered essential, healthy fats. A slice of whole grain toast offered sustained energy. A handful of blueberries added antioxidants to protect the brain. A glass of room temperature water ensured hydration. Occasionally, she included a few walnuts or almonds for added nutrients. No powders, no capsules, just real food. Within weeks, significant changes appeared. The dizziness subsided. Blood pressure levels stabilized. Her energy increased. And most notably, her mind felt clearer, sharper than it had in years. This transformation made sense biologically. The brain thrives when it receives proper hydration, healthy fats, steady energy sources, and essential micronutrients in their natural state. Megadoses are not necessary. What the brain requires is balance. Foods especially beneficial for older adults include leafy greens such as spinach and kale, rich in folate and antioxidants. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines deliver omega-3 fatty acids that support brain cell integrity. Berries provide polyphenols which help reduce inflammation. Nuts and seeds supply vitamin E, magnesium, and brain-friendly fats. Whole grains help stabilize blood sugar and support steady blood flow to the brain. These foods do more than protect the mind. They benefit the heart, support strong bones, lift mood, and promote physical mobility. Eating in this way is not merely about nourishment, it becomes a form of healing with every bite contributing to overall wellness. At this stage of life, every choice carries more weight. Awareness becomes the most powerful form of medicine. The key is not the number of supplements taken, but the understanding behind those choices. After 60, 70, or 80, the body no longer processes nutrients as it did in youth. Even good habits can backfire when not tailored to current needs. This is why paying attention matters. Vitamins are not to be feared, but they must be respected. Always read labels. Consult healthcare professionals. Most importantly, listen to the body, especially when it sends quiet signals. Knowledge leads to better choices. Informed decisions protect health and independence. Recognizing the risks and shifting towards safer, more natural alternatives can help support long-term well-being. Making even one small change, such as replacing a pill with a portion of brain-friendly food, can create a positive ripple. Every step towards simplicity and balance helps support not just the brain, but the whole body. In the end, it is never too late to take control of health. The journey does not end with age. It transforms with new insight, thoughtful care, and a return to what the body truly understands. Real food-wise choices and the power of awareness. That's the end of the video. Thank you for watching until the very last moment. Wishing you good health and well-being every day. If you found this helpful, please give it a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. See you next time. Top of form, bottom of form.